right. But first, let's warm up just a little bit. As you repeat, we're going to sing a song about a dreidel that you know so well. And Renee, and Lily and Renee will lead us today in the song in a whole new way. All right, so we all get you started, and then you repeat after them. And I will repeat after them too. But we start off with the regular dreidel. I had a little dreidel.
I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Oh, I had a little dreidel. I made it out of sand. And when I tried to spin it, it crumbled in my hand. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of sand. And when I tried to spin it, it crumbled in my hand. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of air. And when I tried to spin it, it wasn't even there. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of air. And when I tried to spin it, it wasn't even there. Oh, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of bread. I didn't try to spin it, I ate it up instead. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of bread. I didn't try to spin it, I ate it up instead. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of mud. And when I tried to spin it, it landed with a thud. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of mud. And when I tried to spin it, it landed with a thud. Oh, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of straw. It went a mile an hour and broke the speeding law. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of straw. It went a mile an hour, it broke the speeding law. I had a little dreidel, it made it out of ice. And when I tried to spin it, it wasn't very nice. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of ice. I melted when I spun it, which wasn't very nice. Oh, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of soap. I'll spin it in the bathtub, it will not melt, I hope. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of soap. And spin it in the bathtub, it will not melt, I hope. I had a little dreidel, I made it in my mind. An imaginary dreidel is the hardest one to find. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it in my mind. Imaginary dreidel is the hardest one to find. Oh, I had a little dreidel, I put it on a shelf. And if you want more verses, then make them up yourself.
All right, Renee. And with no further ado, let your ears hear the voice of the little tiny Jews in Whoville as we listen to the story of, not Horton Hears a Who, of the Grinch who stole Hanukkah.
Save Hanukkah. Save Hanukkah.
What's that?
Save Hanukkah.
Oh, the Grinch he saved Hanukkah. Okay.
Don't Christmas save Hanukkah. Scoot over. I'm gonna wait till everybody's quiet. Have you heard the amazing news? In the attic of the Massachusetts home of Dr. Seuss, some researchers discovered a Genizah. In the attic, a treasure trove of discarded Jewish manuscripts, never before seen works like
The Cat and the Kippa,
One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Gefilte Fish,
Oh, the Places You'll Sleep,
Green Eggs and Lox,
Horton Hears a Jew.
Hop on Pop, Take Pop to the orthopedic surgeon.
But beyond all those tempting titles, one stood out above the rest. So tonight I am proud to present the international debut of How the Grinch Saved Hanukkah.
Yeah. All the Jews down in Jewville were busy preparing the latkes and candles and fresh pickled herring. To the Hanukkah festival all thoughts returned, to the Maccabees' wind and the oil they burned. But the Grinch was not pleased. He was rather irate that he had to endure this, not one night, but 8. Irate.
What's all this mishigas with the gelt and the dreidels?
Said the Grinch to the Jews, all the boy chicks and maidels.
If you're looking for Hanukkah somewhere in Scripture, check the Christian ones. Now, are you getting the picture? I'm sick of this nonsense. You've got it all wrong. And don't get me started on the Hanukkah songs.
The children were stunned, and some of them whimpered, for the Grinch was well known for his horrible temper.
Shame on you
Said the Jews.
for poo-pooing their fun. You're ruining Hanukkah for everyone.
That's not true.
Said the Grinch.
It's you Jews who blow it. You get Hanukkah wrong and you don't even know it.
Every Jew down in Jewville loved Hanukkah time, so the Grinch's behavior was nearly a crime. But while everyone stood there so angry and proud, suddenly someone emerged from the crowd. It was a young Jew, to the Grinch's surprise, who looked up at him with her innocent eyes. Little Cindy Lou Jew said to the Grinch,
If we're getting it wrong, lend a hand, be a mensch. If the meaning of Hanukkah is something you know, then help us by teaching us Jews how it goes.
At first the Grinch stared straight at Cindy Lou Jew. No one had ever asked him so simple and true.
Yes, I'll share what I know.
Said the Grinch to them all.
And with knowledge and wit, all of Jewville enthrall. Your heroes are Maccabees, warriors so brave, who fought the Greeks rather than bowed down as slaves. They rid all Judea of pagan oppressors, a miracle making Israel a homeland for Jewish successors. A miracle sure that the underdog won, that a small band of Jews had the Greeks on the run, and then, as the story you like to tell goes, came the miracle of oil that everyone knows, the oil that should have lasted one night, for a week and a day gave off heavenly light. So we light our menorahs, our dreidels we spin, for these miracles too that happened there then. But that's not the whole tale.
Said the Grinch with a shout.
Let me tell you what Hanukkah is really about. The story you know is just too black and white, with Greek villains and Maccabees setting things right. The truth is, a lot of Jews fell in the middle, and pinning them down is the heart of this riddle. They were Jews to be sure, but they also felt Greek, and compared to the Maccabees, might have seemed weak. They liked their Greek names, followed certain Greek ways, but their Jewish neshemas illumined their days. The Maccabees too, though known as so pure, learned Greek skills for battle that helped them endure. And even the way that they wrote down their story used techniques from the Greeks to make public their glory.
The Grinch paused and looked out on the Jewville Jew faces. Not a sound could be heard in the high and low places. Bewildered, offended, confused, or perplexed, they were all equally baffled by what happened next. For Cindy Lou Jew then spoke up to the Grinch.
I get it now, thank you, it's really a cinch. The real tale of Hanukkah makes much more sense. In Jewville and everywhere else, Jews pay rent. We live in between, just like those Greek Jews, adapting and changing while facing the new.
At that moment, the Grinch's frown faded away, and a smile appeared as he started to say,
My dear Cindy Lou Jew, you've got it, my girl. The true Hanukkah tale, now let's give it a whirl. We have enough feasts, with that theme we repeat. They tried to destroy us. We live, now let's eat. Here's to Hanukkah teaching us something contrasting, a message more resonant, truer, and lasting. Whenever Jews lived in surroundings non-Jewish, we adapt and we thrive and create something newish.
Then Cindy Lou Jew said,
The sun is now setting. There's something important that we're all forgetting.
The Grinch then reached into his pouch on his belt and pulled out some candles, dreidels, and Hanukkah gelt. The Jews in Jewville joyfully lit their menorahs and broke into laughter and danced while dancing the hora. The Grinch said,
I'll leave you with one final notion before we get lost in this festive emotion. Dedication is how the word Hanukkah is defined. If you learn nothing else, just keep this in mind. When we're spinning our dreidels and kindling our lights, let's rededicate ourselves to the point of these rites.
Hollered Cindy Lou Jew,
A great miracle happened.
and the Jewville Jews answered with singing and clapping. The Grinch with a flourish said,
Strike up the band.
And the children, with sifanyot in their hands, lifted voices and spirits and hands up in song. And the Jewville Jews and all of you sang along.